All right, what's going on, YouTube? We are back today with another video of my daily analysis. If you are new to this channel, if you are tuning in right now, this is a channel that I post daily videos for analysis of gold, Bitcoin, S&P 500, the Nasdaq, the Russell, and we also talk about the dollar index, and we also definitely do talk about the news. Now, that being said, let's see what happened today with the dollar index. We had some news today. We had FOMC minutes at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And based off of what I can see from my charts, we can see the market, reacted positively for it. That is, we can see that the market did hold its previous levels. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it wasn't much of a news event per se, but as you can see, today is January the 8th, 2 o'clock in and around here is when we started seeing the spike, and we just saw the market, climb up towards, highs. We broke previous day's highs. That being said, we saw a dump on gold as well. Yesterday, I had shared my analysis about how I was looking to go long on gold once we clear this area here. So what I did was, once I saw this, I realized that the next candle was, if you look at it, that there was no buying, right? Like the buying exhausted here. Price tried to come down, failed, buy it, closed above this, and instantaneously the next candle. I just want to show you the time right here. This was at 12 in the afternoon. Coming in towards FOMC, we just started dropping, right? And then we held, and after which it was just pretty much flat throughout the entire day. I just want to see the correlation of what we did there with gold at 12 o'clock. Let's see what this spike was about. So this was at 6 p.m. Let's see right here. This was at 1 and 2 o'clock, right? So previous day market structure, today daily structure, 6:45, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so in and around here is when we saw the dump on gold. It's nothing quite significant. Like the dollar didn't move much on today's FOMC meeting. It was quite weird to just see that the move happened prior to the entire thing, unfolding. As you can see, FOMC minutes right here, Wednesday, January the 8th. I didn't watch the entire thing, but I know traders who are very much focused on FOMC. That being said, we trade purely on the chart, and from what I know, with the chart, gold has been steadily holding its price point, right? 26. It's been around the 2600s for a very long time. We've been holding this price level. It's just been a wide range, right? So we test the lows of the range, we test the low of the range, we test the highs, we test the highs. Based off of the monstrosity of the move that we see on gold, I'm still thinking this could continue pushing up, right? With the volatility that's happening in the market, the global tensions that are happening. My outlook on gold is sort of bullish. Bitcoin, on the other hand, has been having an interesting year, an interesting start to the year, right? It's not been the greatest of assets, but at the same time, it's a monster. This thing could go back to 100,000 at any time, depending on, a single tweet from Trump or the man himself, Elon Musk. This thing could be, sending back right up. So I had a trade today on BTC. It was a fantastic trade that I took. This wick right here was my short, right? A very simple way of thinking about it is because this was yesterday's low, right? This was the close. So if you go in and zoom in, you can see that we retested the close, one single candle, retested the close. Now, I did not get in right at this candle. I saw the move, I saw the rejection, and I just marketed my order in here. And I had my outs down here. So this was the trade that I took on Bitcoin, just this one particular trade. It was profitable. However, coming back to gold, I realized that the analysis that I did on the previous day, right over here, was something that caught me off guard, right? Because I told myself that I would look into this, right? I'll look into how this shows up, but I had an order sitting here, right, with stops here. So while I watched what was happening, this drop right here, if you go on to the 1 minute, I can show you that very clearly. That was one straight flush candle that just took us down. It just dropped. That was such a heavy drop just within a minute. So as you can see, this right here, this is 1 minute of a candle that just from here it opens here, it just opens a bit lower and just pushes down. So you know even though I was able to keep risk tight, I wasn't expecting that type of a drop. Now, fair enough to say that you don't expect anything in the markets, right? Like anything can happen kind of situation. However, given given the unpreparedness that I had, that was quite shocking for me. However, I didn't play around, right? Because based off of my analysis, anything above this is where we go long, right? Anything above the 2683s is where we're going long, and anything below that, we still need to keep short, right? Based off of that, I was keeping, my mind sane and not trying to go back long again. That being said, I will try it again. Let's say we have more buying pressure coming in. I'm willing to take the long above this, right? But anything below that, we're still looking to keep short. Now, ideally, what can be done is, now that we're sitting here, right? If I am willing to give it the risk of, let's see how that's going to be a huge risk, 83s, right? Let's say I decide to do 83. Okay, that's going to be $62. That would be my risk, and it's actually 84.4, not even 83. It's 84 and 4 cents. So that's like $71. If I am willing to accept the risk, I could go short right here, risking off of this. But to me, $74 off of this trade that broke previous day highs is not something that you know it's not something appealing to me, just because of the way the market has been performing off recently, right? It's not something that I would like to be a part of right now. And based on the fact that there's lesser volume, I'm not that keen to doing that. So I would wait, I would wait on that, and then I would like to see what we do once we climb back above 2680. I think it's 2680, 81, 83. Come on, why don't you just why are you doing this to me? You normally just go right away. Like, now why are you? It's so messed up. Trading view sometimes it just sucks, but let's be honest, it's one of the best trading charting things that we have, right? So that being said, so it's 2683.6. That's where we would have our alert set up. So we're just going to keep it once again above there. Based off of price action and volume, we'll see what happens. Let's go and see what happened to the S&P 500. I do believe that is the S&P 500 that I just clicked on. No, that was the NASDAQ. Okay. So let's see what happens to the NASDAQ. again, a lot of choppiness, right? Like I said, this is the first week that we have come back. We're not. The intention is most certainly not to throw everything in one bag. So I'm just gonna sit this week through. I do believe that next week we'll have much more. Like, there's no cleaner action right now. We're still in the middle of a huge range. We're still in the middle of a chop. There's nothing much that you can do when the market is like this. Market conditions need to be good. I was looking into um, I think it was the Euro futures yesterday. There was a beautiful short that I got stopped out, but the short was there. It was where was it? Was it the Euro or was it the Australian? I think it was the Australian. Oh, it was the New Zealand dollar. Yeah, 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 that was what it was. Um, let's see. Let me try to zoom in. I don't quite remember exactly which one it was. Okay, it was right here. So I was structuring my short based off of this, right? Like, we broke below the previous day's low, right? And I had my stop set right above here. I went to sleep. It took me out, and then look what happened. So that's just part of what we do here on a daily basis. Now there might have been another scenario where it didn't do the retest of this high, right? It didn't take the liquidity, but it just kept going down. I have seen scenarios like that. I've seen trades like that occur like that. So this was just a loss that I had to take based off of the risk that I was willing uh, to put for this particular trade. That being said, again, my outlook on gold is still going to be bullish. I know the dollar is gaining value. However, what I have been noticing is that even though the dollar is gaining value, uh, I don't see the drop on gold. So normally it's correlated. It's like, if the dollar rises, gold drops. But at this given time, we do see that there's global tensions happening, the new elections, Trudeau, Trump, Elon, everything is going, here and there. So there's a lot to say, right? But that being said, this is something that I will just keep in the back of my pocket. I would not be trading much this week. This week is just a week for us to, you know, uh, it's like, just think of it as when you go fishing, right? When you go fishing, what you do is, let's say the conditions are not favorable. You don't throw in your biggest cast, or you don't throw in your biggest bait thinking, oh, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever I can at this given condition and make the best out of it, and then take whatever you can take. No. What you do is you realize, that's if you know how fishing works, right? You realize that, oh, you might lose your best equipment because the conditions are not good. And then what happens? You have to buy new equipment. So instead of that, what you do is you just play around. You say, okay, I'll come in, I'll try to fish. Nothing happens, I go back. Right? I'm still taking back whatever equipment that I had. I'm still taking back all the bait that I had. And then whenever the conditions are good again, when the sun is shining, when the fish are above the water, when it's easier to catch, is when you go to catch. That's when you do the right type of fishing. The same thing applies to when you're trading with the stock market. Now, I know a lot of people are not going to be listening to this part of the video, so I can say what I want. That being said, uh, yeah, it's a pretty much muted week. There's nothing much to do this week in terms of my strategy, the way I look at things. If you have some trades, if you have some wonderful trades, feel free to comment, feel free to reach out, and we could discuss them as well. That being said, like I said, the dollar index pumping up, gold staying the same place. Bitcoin is coming, a bit down, so we're here and there. The other S&Ps, the Nasdaq, it's all in a range. There's nothing much I can do. We have, I think we have news on Friday. We have the what's that called? Non-farm payrolls, the NFP, that's coming up on Friday. Let's have a look. Yeah, we have NFP. We have balance of trade that just happened right now. That's for the Australian market. That must have moved. Non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, all on Friday. Friday's going to be, a massive day for sure. Let's see if anything moved. with balance of trade. Oh, look at that, right? Looks good. Looks good. I would like to see what happens if we take out the low here. But again, I'm wary that there is still going to be a little bit of buying over here. So we'll see what happens. I'm not keen. I don't trade forex that much, but I would certainly take a few trades here and there if the setup is right. That being said, thank you. Trade well. We'll take one day at a time. There's no rush. We're not going anywhere. That's that. So have a good day and peace out.